name is JimmyBob, and this is my companion, BillyBob.
Hello, BillyBob here.
And we have a guest. Her name is France.
Oui.
Okay, and we're going to talk about mental health.
I hope I die.
Okay. Well, mental health has become a big issue throughout our generation, and we're becoming self-aware of our mentality.
In past generations, mental health was not an important fear factor for them. They were taken lightly and downgraded to the point where our younger generations are concerned for their own health.
You're so boring. God.
Die.
Oh, okay. Well, this graph that shows the amount of suicide deaths throughout America. Oh, a little aggressive there. I'm gonna restore. Anyways, there's a graph that shows the amount of suicide deaths throughout America from the year 2011 to 2022. The amount is concerning. Almost 10,000 people died of suicide.
Teens are now afraid to speak out on their health because they don't want their parents to know. These teens are not at fault because in the older generations, they had to suppress their own emotions, so the parents don't know how to understand or help their children.
Mental health is not someone's way of begging for attention, but it's a cry for help. These parents need to understand that.
It's not that there's one day of feeling gloomy, but it's occasionally happening.
If you notice that the usual personality has been off for a while, or the outfit just are really dirty and don't cook as usual, ask them if they're feeling sigma today. Billy, are you feeling sigma today?
No, I do not feel sigma. I hope I do.
Hello Internet, and welcome back to our YouTube channel, Billy, Jimmy and Friends! And we're going to talk about how some mentally unstable people cope with their mental health. Some are positive, some are negative.
Yes, there are good and bad, but I'm going to talk about the negative. Most of the time, it's cutting themselves.
They become more nonchalant and big, scary alpha males. They start posting and acting all nonchalant.
If you were to go to any social media platform, you'd find just the normal influencers. But if you were to search for things that could be harmful, like SH.
Kids now are very emo and nonchalant, which is bad. But nonchalant isn't really that bad if they aren't emo.
Don't say something like that. This is important and it needs to be known.
Oh shit!
Mental health with children and adults can be very different. Parents don't understand what is actually wrong, while children have been trying to make it more known.
Well, some kids should be less annoying with it. If someone can't help them, then they should stop bothering that person who isn't understanding.
They might be annoying, but these children just want to have a life without worries, and ignoring all the flaws makes it difficult to relax.
What the frick, bro? Like, it's literally not that serious, bro.
To you, it may not be important, and that's the problem that children are having. While trying to explain their mental health, problems for children will always be that no one listens, especially parents.
They sweat. They have parents who are busy and work.
Parents may work, but they choose to have kids. If they didn't want that child, that doesn't excuse anything. They are now responsible for another human because they had the child. I can understand that they had no choice, but even so, it's still their child.
Yappiest of the yappers in yap history.
I hope you do. But you understand, right? Some parents find it hard to give up their child because the child will grow up in an even difficult environment. Even so, it's better than living in a house where you aren't cared for.
Okay, but they most likely would have had a better life if it was in a different home and not been neglected.
That's exactly the problem with some parents. They don't care enough.
Not very skippity. Well, now I understand. I'm sorry.
Now that is it for our yap.
That's it for today with Billy, Jimmy, and France. Yeah!